Last week we chatted about some of the new concepts that we were exploring in Pink Goldfish 2.0. So we talked about the idea of attack, exposing. We talked about wabi sabi and B2B that's going into Pink Goldfish 2.0. Today we want to talk about we've got a lot of new examples that are going in. Let's talk about some of them. Let's start with you, Dave. What's your favorite?
Botto Bistro, little authentic Italian pizza place in Richmond, California. The owner decides he's sick of Yelp, sick of being obsessively concerned with negative customer reviews on Yelp, sick of worrying about his star ratings. So he decides to undermine the process and tells people, look, if you give me a 1-star review, I'll give you 50% off your pizza.
Off your pizza, right.
And it worked so well, he did more business in one day than he used to do in a month. And he achieved his goal of becoming the worst rated restaurant on all of Yelp. So that's just the beginning.
Yeah, that is literally touching the scratching the surface.
It's going to be a massive, that example is going to be a big part of the next version.
Right, which leads us to one of my favorite new ones. Yeah, is Snowbird, which is a great resort out in Utah. Their runs are ridiculously steep, right, and dangerous. And they did a great campaign where they featured actual 1-star reviews for Snowbird. And it was a great way to kind of poke fun and to kind of push away people that they didn't want in order to attract the ones that they didn't. This one actually I just wrote about this past week, and it's gotten a ton of traction. Tell them about
Tom's Diner. So this became a sensation just last year, but it's been going on for like 20 years. They charge you 38 cents for stupid questions at Tom's Diner. So it's just a little diner, exactly what you'd think, where you can order some food that's probably okay in an environment that's probably okay in a cooler, older building. And right on the menu, though, this wasn't something they just sprung on somebody. Right on the menu, and for years, right next to all the sides, you can get fries, you get coleslaw, or you can get stupid questions for 38 cents. So that's another one of our favorites. Little micro weird there, probably charging 38 cents for stupid questions.
And my favorite for them is that in the healthy options, they have in there, you can choose skip your next meal or walk home. Both of which free.
But they'll put them on the receipt.
Put them on the bill for you. Yeah. Which so Pink is all about being kind of weird, embracing it. There's a great, and speaking because Tom's is in Denver.
Yeah.
Shinesty is out of Boulder,
Colorado.
Know that. Yeah, and they are a catalog. If you've never seen Shinesty, man, they double down on.
Well, tell them the kinds of stuff. What do they sell?
I mean, they sell kind of pajamas, suits, tops, bottoms,
underwear.
Yeah, underwear.
Pretty wild
the holiday one is the nutcracker, which is really interesting. But the catalog and the copy is just so kitschy and eccentric. That's going in. I'm excited about that. What's another one for you?
Nike. We went from very silly to kind of serious. Their Kaepernick ad, sometimes standing for something means sacrificing everything, right? And they did that ad in 2018, and it was literally a firestorm. People were online burning Nikes, burning Nike apparel. And people were also online talking about how they just bought some Nikes and bought some Nike apparel.
Right.
It was a hugely polarizing thing. And so that's going in our section on antagonizing. They really made a big move, and it caused some people to hate them and some people to love them. And so that's going in the antagonizing section. And it'll be interesting, and we'll talk about that in the book to see how that's either paid off or been a problem over the last couple of years.
And speaking of antagonizing, one of our favorites from across the pond from Germany is the BVG, which is the Berlin's public transport system, trains and buses. And boy, did they have some fun embracing being nasty to their customers and being unapologetic about owning that, hey, Berlin's a gritty city.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Get used to it if you're going to ride public transport, because they couldn't really improve it, right?
That one's so out of control, we can't put some of it in the book. I mean, they are, when you complain on Twitter about BVG, they come after you,
right,
and just savagely assault you on Twitter. There's no mercy. It's not just unapologetic, it's savage.
Right.
And some of it is not fit for print in the United States.
Right.
Let's go down south to Texas.
Yeah, let's go to Texas. One of my favorites, I visited there a couple years ago, is Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Buc-ee's is this amazing, kind of highway, gas station, rest stop. Most rest stops are like, in convenience stores, are about 3,000 square feet. The average Buc-ee's is 60,000.
Like a Walmart.
256 gas pumps, and I think I counted 96 urinals.
I bet the truckers love it.
No, they don't, because they're not allowed.
No truckers allowed?
18-wheelers allowed.
Who wants to stop at a rest stop with no truckers?
And the food has won awards. It's an amazing place.
Everybody loves gas station food.
It's a destination. So they're going in, really excited. But let's stay in Texas. Tell us a little bit about
Boerne,
not
Texas.
Bernie Sanders.
No, not Bernie Sanders. Boerne, Texas, 30 miles northwest of
San
Antonio. And they wanted to do a race to raise some money for Blessings in a Backpack. They are a nonprofit that puts food in a backpack for kids over the weekend, because those are kids who during the week get free or subsidized lunch, and they know they don't have as much over the weekend. And so they wanted to do a race or something to raise money, but everybody does a 5K, everybody does a golf tournament. And so they decided to do something differently. So they did a 0.5K race. I'm not going to tell you everything about it.
Right.
But just give you a few things. Number one, it starts at 11 a.m. None of this 7 a.m. stuff, none of this sunrise stuff. They know you're not that kind of person.
Right.
You wanna start a little bit later. It starts with a pre-race beer.
Right.
Ends with a post-race beer. And if you're not even sure what 0.5K is, it's 540 yards. Okay? This is 0.3 miles. This is probably the shortest race you could ever participate in. And you might think, ooh, but what if I get tired in the middle? They have an aid station.
A rest stop. Yeah.
And maybe you like to smoke. They got a smoking section at the rest stop halfway through. So that's an awesome one. We'll tell you some fun things about that. They sold out their 2019 race, 37 seconds.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that led them to another innovation, which we'll tell you about in the book.
Right. One of my favorites, you actually discovered this when you were shopping, I think in Target. You were walking past the book section and you saw a book that said P is for Pterodactyl, which stops you in your, and it's literally one of the best-selling kids books. Not only that, but like one of the best-selling books on all of Amazon. And so we tell a little bit of the story there. It's kind of a fun way to be able to teach the peculiarities of the alphabet. But let's finish it up. Let's go back across the pond to Belgium.
Westvleteren. It is the #1 beer on ratebeer.com. It's the most popular beer on earth, and you can't have any, Stan.
No.
Because the only way to get it is 2 days a week. You're allowed to drive up and pick it up in your car only when you've pre-ordered.
Right.
You used to only be able to order by phone, and they were only answering the phone twice a week for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
If you didn't get in, too bad. They take down your license plate and your cell phone number. You can only order 1 to 2 cases every 60 days. They won't ship it. There's no labels. The story goes on and on, but it's the most popular. They won't increase how much they make.
Right. And made by Trappist monks.
Yeah. And that's one of the interesting stories. They only make the beer in order to pay the bills and be monks. And so they have no interest in starting a big business. They have no interest in being too busy. They have no interest in making you happy. They just make the beer so they can be monks, and they don't have any interest in responding to customer feedback or making it any easier for you to get it. And so it's not just okay beer. It's not even just good beer. It's literally the best beer.
That's a fact.
On earth. And, they don't care if you haven't.